Hopefully that won't be a problem. It's not going to be broadcast everywhere on YouTube. It's just, I invited a few people to come on and join tonight. Collier. So shout out to Collier. He's going to be taking a listen to this recording tomorrow. And yeah, so let me just do a real quick introduction of myself so that I'm not a perfect stranger to everybody. My name is Brian, and I have been on staff with Youth for Christ for 18 years this past September. And we get to serve military connected kids here at Offutt Air Force Base in Omaha, Nebraska. We've been able to work with chaplains in all kinds of places. We've lived in Germany and Italy and spent most of our adult life, 10 years almost, in Europe. And it's been a real joy to be able to do that. We've also been using Shaklee products for about 25 years, but have never been more excited about Shaklee than we are right now. So I am just, it's my delight. Normally Dick McLean does these calls, but he is out this week. And so he's asked me to step in and pinch hit. So hopefully I can hit the ball out of the park, you know, and do good for him. But I'm delighted to be able to share with you this evening something that really has the potential to be a game changer. And I say that not because it has been a game changer for our family in more ways that I can describe. So when we get to the end of this call, I'm going to ask you to just give some feedback, and to help give some focus to that feedback, I want you to be listening for three things tonight. Be listening for, what is one thing new that you learned through this presentation? What is one question that I left unanswered? And what is one thing that surprised you? So three things: one thing new that you learned, a question left unanswered, and then one thing that surprised you. And I would love to hear your feedback on what you have to say at the end of our time together. So I am going to share our screen. Can you all see the PowerPoint presentation? Yes?
Yes, but it wasn't big like you showed me.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. There it goes. Yep,
Good,
perfect.
good. Well, and the other thing I would ask is just to honor each other. If your mic is, if you could go ahead and mute your mic, that would be super helpful. And that way we're not picking up any background noise. So in just a couple minutes, I'm going to share with you 5 essential questions to ask before joining a networking company. But first, I want to take a moment to dream. And this is such a rich exercise because we often get caught up in the tyranny of the urgent, and we neglect to dream about future possibilities. So let's just take a second to talk about your future. What exactly do you want for your life? This is a question that I'm thinking about right now. I just turned 42, and I'm thinking about some of the things that I want to do for the second half of life. And I recognize, though, that most of the time we don't even take the time to think about what we would love to have. We don't take the time to dream because we're just too busy to even pause long enough to think about it. Typically what happens is we wake up in the morning, sometimes not as early as we want. We get the kids ready for school, we get busy, we go to work, we get tired, we go to bed, we eat somewhere in there, and the next day we wake up again and we start the cycle all over. But since we're all here, I just want to hit the pause button for a few precious minutes to ask the question, what do you really want for your life? For example, some of you might immediately think of having some extra breathing room in your budget. Maybe your current income barely covers your living expenses. Maybe you would love to be able to set aside more money into your investment accounts. Or maybe you've got the gift of giving and you would love to be even more generous with the money that's been entrusted to you. Or maybe you just want to plus up your children's or your grandchildren's savings accounts, so that you can have a little bit of extra also on a rainy day or an emergency fund when those crises happen. Or what about this question? What might it feel like to make extra payments on your house in order to pay off your mortgage? And do you want to have to choose between these goals? So while we're dreaming, let me ask this question. How would it feel not to have to choose between these options? to have enough money to fund all your needs and wants? Or what about where you live? Where would you like to live in your dream house? What would it be like to have everything you ever wanted in your home? And what kind of home would you really like to have? If you could have any home you wanted, I just get excited thinking about what that could look like for us. Or what about this one? We Americans love our cars. What would it be like to drive your dream car? To not have to worry about those regular maintenance issues or repairs, or to have everything covered under warranty. And here's a big one. How about spending some time traveling to these crazy exotic places? To be able to travel overseas, to explore the world, meeting new people and new cultures while expanding your own horizons. Instead of just repeating that endless cycle of work and eat and sleep with hardly any white space in your life, wouldn't it be great to truly rest during an extended vacation anywhere in the world? But as great as all of these things are, they would not be possible at all, or at least not nearly as meaningful if you aren't enjoying great health. How would it feel to do the things you most enjoy with those that you most enjoy? Because if you don't have your health, and I mean great health, there's no way that you can really enjoy all those other freedoms that money can provide. There's no point in having money or a nice house or a great car or traveling the world if you don't have health to enjoy those things. So it just makes sense to take care of our bodies. So let me ask you again. Have you really thought about what you want in your life? And if so, are you serious about actually having them in your future? And if you are, awesome. Kudos to you. That's so good. But I would encourage you to set your sights high, because the reality is that most people will never experience these things. Most of us don't even dream about that because we can't even imagine that those types of luxuries would even be possible for us. And sometimes I wonder, why is that? What keeps people from seeing their dreams become a reality? Well, let's face it, the challenges we have to overcome to getting ahead are real. For one, most people are unwilling to undergo the kind of personal growth required to achieve their dreams. And second, most things today cost twice as much as they did 10 or 20 years ago. So even though you may be making more, are you really catching up financially? Are you actually getting ahead so that you can, in fact, enjoy the lifestyle you've dreamed about? Well, how do most of us try to fund our dreams? Well, most of us will do it just by trying to get a great job. But in this model, someone basically buys your time at wholesale and then sells it at retail. And the reality is that the employer gets most of the benefits. A smaller group of people will start their own business. And the reality is that sometimes the upfront cost is huge and it's prohibitive for many. And there's a huge percentage of new business startups that fail, and many people end up losing their shirts in the process. And a few, the third option, is typically there for people who are already enormously wealthy, and that would be buying into a franchise. The reality of that option, though, is there's a huge upfront cost, and there's a high net worth in order required in order to start that. And many times it just consumes your life for years. And so I'm thinking about this and I'm going, are there any other options? We're not saying that any of these pathways to financial wealth are wrong, but what if there is another way? Well, we think there is, and we think it's worth taking a hard look at, which is why I want to introduce you to the industry called network marketing, sometimes called social marketing. Now, if you look at the graph of how it tends to work financially, it's very different from the ones we just talked about. And there's four major strengths to this model that I think are worth mentioning. Number one, it's the fastest growing industry in the world. It's an industry, number two, that allows you to be in control of your future. It gives you the ability to achieve and to create and to have everything that you want at the time that you want it, at the speed that you want it, to earn the amount that you want. And the great thing about this industry is you're never alone. You create a business for yourself, but you're never by yourself. Why is that? Because it works by leveraging the power of a team effort. And you benefit from the impact of being part of a team. A team is going on even when you take a break or a vacation or you choose to travel. Your team is still working, and it's so much fun to be on great teams. And then number 4, it's great to be a part of a team because you get to create that team. You get to find the people that you love to work with and recruit them and invite them to come and be a part of something that's dynamic and that's awesome. You get to enjoy this thing that we get to call passive income. Now, there's 2 types of income that are worth mentioning here. One is the active, the other is passive. Most of us are familiar with active income. It's for the most part what we're used to earning. We work, we put in hours on the job, we get some money in return. But with passive income, early on, you put in your time and maybe only make a little, but later on, you receive an ongoing income from work that you did a long time ago, plus residual income based upon the work done by the people who helped you help to do the same. They are also sharing, and you're able to benefit from the work that they're doing. And this becomes a consistent, sustainable income that you can enjoy in increasing amounts over the long haul. So this industry of network marketing, it holds tremendous potential. But let's be honest, there are thousands of network marketing companies, and they're not all created equal. Incidentally, sometimes we call them brand partners because when you're in this industry, you don't work for them, you work with them, but you're still your own boss. And my hunch is you're probably familiar with a number of them already. Perhaps you've worked with some of them in the past or even now. Or maybe you even heard of an opportunity in this industry, but just haven't embraced it. Maybe you've got some reservations about the whole model, and I totally understand that. In any event, I just want to thank you for taking another look at it this evening. So finding the right brand partner, the right company is so important. But the $10,000 question is, how do I pick the right one? So there are 5 key questions you need to answer when selecting the right brand partner in the networking industry. 5 questions that you need to answer. And if your answer to the first 4 questions is yes, then the final question, the 5th one, is hands down the most important question. So if you're considering a different brand company, then I invite you to apply these same questions to that company as well, because they're that good. So the first question that we need to ask and that we're going to look at is there a problem that the company solves? In other words, is the service the company provides or the products they sell things that people really need? I mean, no one's going to sell ice to Eskimos. So allow me then to introduce you to our brand partner, Shaklee. It's one of the oldest networking companies in the world. So let's just evaluate Shaklee in light of these 5 questions. Does Shaklee solve a problem experienced by a lot of people? In other words, is there a significant need to which Shaklee is responding? And I think you'll agree with me that there is. So let's consider this question. How does the US stack up in comparison to other countries when it comes to our health? Well, there is no other country in the world that spends more money per person on healthcare. But the question is, what are we getting in return for what we're spending? In other words, how healthy are we in comparison to other countries? Well, just looking at this list, I think you'll agree with me that we've got a problem here in the US. Countries that spend far less on their healthcare are actually showing much better health outcomes than we are in the United States. According to the World Health Organization, we rank 37th in the world with respect to our health outcomes. Now, the truth of the matter is, since this came out, since we put this slide together, we've actually moved up 2 ranks. But I suppose if you like seeing the silver lining in the clouds, we at least come out ahead of Slovenia, Cuba, and Brunei. So our problem in America isn't a health care crisis. It's actually a health crisis. 2/3 of Americans are overweight or obese. 1/3 are diabetic or pre-diabetic. And most of the leading causes of death in the US are preventable. So Shaklee is the pioneer. Yeah, so you would agree with me that, hello, we've got a problem. But so Shaklee is the pioneer in developing natural ways to build and maintain people's health. Shaklee's been doing that and doing it naturally for over 100 years, longer than everyone else. So not surprisingly, it's the world's largest natural nutrition company. So is there a problem that the company solves? Yes. And Shaklee is solving not just a national, but a global health care concern. It's on the minds of nearly 7.8 billion people. So I think we can safely answer yes to the first question. So let's talk about the second question. Is the company's philosophy sound? In other words, are they really looking to partner with you in a mutually beneficial way? You want to know that you're entering into a win-win relationship. So it's helpful to know if the company's philosophy of business is one you can affirm. Can you buy into their vision and mission? So let's look at Shaklee's philosophy. The core philosophy of Shaklee has always been living in harmony with nature. That guides and controls everything Shaklee does. And it has ever since Shaklee was founded in 1956. That means that Shaklee Corporation does not harm anything. It doesn't harm the planet, it doesn't harm our homes, and it doesn't harm our bodies. And I love that. Now, from a business standpoint, Shaklee's philosophy is to do everything in harmony with the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Now, this is huge for Shaklee, and it's one of the cultural aspects of the company that I absolutely love and that sets it apart from other companies that I've seen. A lot of people will talk about it, but Shaklee actually practices it. It follows then that Shaklee's products are produced in harmony with nature and good health. I love this. There are 0 artificial flavors, 0 preservatives or chemicals. If it's not sourced in nature, it's not in the package. And I love that level of commitment to natural purity that Shaklee has always maintained. That means that when you consume them on a regular basis, you can have the peace of mind of knowing that the products will work for you. You'll stay healthy and improve your physical health. And at the same time, you'll never need to worry about there being any negative side effects. Shaklee is the #1 company in the world that produces all natural health products. Now, we owe our sound philosophy to the founder of the company. He was a unique individual who made a great positive impact on the world. Well, our founder, Dr. Forrest C. Shaklee, was born in 1894. Unfortunately, he was born with serious health problems that, fortunately, it became a blessing in disguise. Because in order to give him the best shot at life, his family moved to a clean rural area where he grew up being exposed to the very best that nature could provide. And he discovered early on that nearly everything that our bodies need in order to thrive is actually found in nature. So he was able to recover because the power of nature is that strong. And at the age of 18, he became a doctor, which is just crazy sick. And then in 1915, 105 years ago, he not only discovered vitamins, but he formulated the very first multivitamin in the world. Now, keep in mind that no one was talking about supplements back then. But Dr. Forrest C. Shaklee was a man who was decades ahead of his time. He was crazy passionate about solving tomorrow's problems today. In fact, Dr. Shaklee pioneered this whole idea of natural nutritional supplements. He didn't do it in a lab where he formulated some chemical compounds. No, he went straight into nature, believing that God had put everything there that we needed. And then he extracted from nature the very best for people's benefits. So 41 years later, at the age of 62, when most people are thinking about retiring and slowing down, he and his two sons founded the Shaklee Products Company and then developed the system that we now call network marketing with the aim of recruiting people who would share with the much wider public his philosophy of living in harmony with nature and share the products he had developed over the decades. So I'm introducing to you today one of the earliest pioneers of network marketing and to the man who originated the whole concept of natural nutritional supplementation. Grounded on its philosophy, Dr. Shaklee created a company. This is so cool. That had as its objective to improve the lives of everyone it touched in terms of health, happiness, and prosperity. He set the company up not for what it could do for him, but for how it could contribute to others. And it's been doing that for over 60 years. So Shaklee has been around for 64 years. And like I said earlier, we're the #1 natural nutrition company in the world. 64 years is a long time. And what that means is that when you look at Shaklee, you're not left with question marks and unknowns with unsubstantiated claims and promises. Shaklee has a long enough track record for you to be comfortable and for you to be able to determine pretty quickly whether or not it's the real deal. Well, of course, no one lives forever, but because nature is such a great healer, Dr. Shaklee lived a very robust life until his passing at the age of 91. We're fortunate and blessed that today his successor is continuing that legacy of Dr. Forrest C. Shaklee. This is Roger Barnett. And when he bought Shaklee, he was already one of the world's most successful businessmen in the world. He spent $20 million in 5 years looking for a company he could purchase that he would devote the rest of his life to building. And he ultimately chose Shaklee. And when he became not just our owner, but Shaklee's CEO, this is what he said. We will be the strongest force on the planet for positive change when we have 10 million members in the Shaklee family. The simple fact is that Roger didn't buy Shaklee because he needed a job or an income. Goodness, he was already a billionaire. No, he bought it so that through Shaklee, he could make a positive impact in the world. And that was 15 years ago. And everything Roger has done since then has demonstrated his unshakable commitment to carrying on Dr. Shaklee's philosophy and his own commitment to make the world a better place. Well, if anything, Roger has enhanced Dr. Shaklee's vision and extended his influence with his own vision of expanding Shaklee to 50 countries around the world. Today, Shaklee is in the US, Canada, China, Taiwan, Malaysia, and Indonesia. And all of us who choose to embrace Shaklee as our brand partner can extend our businesses into every country where Shaklee operates. So, congratulations for taking a few minutes to check out what truly is a global opportunity. So suffice it to say, Shaklee's got an incredible philosophy, and it's one that Bonnie and I can buy into. It's one that I can get behind because of their efficacy. The third question that we need to ask when considering a networking company is their compensation plan. Will their compensation plan provide you the financial wellness and other benefits that you want? Will it give you the passive income that will result in financial freedom for you in the future? So let's take a brief look at Shaklee's compensation plan. And I'm not going to get into the details of this because, as you can see, Shaklee offers you some amazing opportunities. And it's my personal belief that Shaklee has the very best compensation plan in the network marketing industry. And you'll see why in just a few minutes. This slide that you're looking at here shows the various ranks that can be achieved in Shaklee. And the income averages presented here are not what Shaklee says someone might make. These are the actual average incomes earned by Shaklee's sales leaders at each rank. The averages come straight off the 1099s that Shaklee submits to the IRS to report its sales leaders' earnings. So you can see that the average sales leader, the director for Shaklee, which is our lowest leadership rank, they made just over $10,000 last year on average. And at the other end of the spectrum, the presidential master coordinator made almost $590,000. Now, keep in mind that these are not the maximums. These are just the average earnings of all the people at each of those ranks. And if you look at the master coordinator rank, the average master coordinator made just over 200,000. So when we talk about earning all the money you want, Shaklee provides an amazing vehicle to do just that. And again, without getting into the details, the majority of that is passive income. It's residual income that Shaklee pays you month after month and year after year for you having built up other leaders. And as you grow through the ranks in Shaklee, the passive income will become the lion's share of your earnings. It's this passive income that leads many people to be attracted to this business model. Even many people with excellent salaries in major corporations are attracted to Shaklee because of the passive income dynamic that they can build up, not only for their later years, and this is huge, this is so cool, but for future generations. So here's the deal. You can will this business to your children. Today in Shaklee, there are fourth and fifth generation sales leaders whose grandparents and great grandparents began their businesses back in the 50s and 60s. Let me tell you, it's a powerful compensation plan. Over the years, Shaklee has paid out over $9 billion to the sales leaders who have partnered with them in the US and around the world. That's a pretty impressive record. And that's why I say Shaklee is a bulletproof company with a bulletproof compensation plan. Shaklee doesn't just promise, they actually deliver. Now, granted, not everyone who comes into this business starts by earning a little bit of active income as they begin to use the products and they share the products with others. But as you continue to pursue this and you share the products and the opportunity with others who then share them with others and so on, that's how this business grows, and that's how your passive income grows with it. But here's what's also cool. It's not just the money. We like to say that Shaklee offers 3 C's: cash, cars, and conventions, which is just another way of saying all expense paid trips and vacations. Not only can you make a tremendous amount of money in Shaklee, but you can also earn cars and amazing trips all over the world. So Shaklee's compensation plan offers you the possibility of substantial financial rewards and some amazing benefits. But wait, it gets better, because the really cool thing is that with Shaklee, you don't have to pick between one or the other. With Shaklee, you can literally have them all: abundant income and cars and trips and money for your dream home. And that's why we like to call Shaklee the land of and. Now, I want to tell you, this isn't just a pie in the sky kind of dream. And it's not just for a few people who are at the very top of the organization. No, there is no glass ceiling with Shaklee. Anyone willing to do the work and who's willing to undergo that personal transformation is capable of earning as much as they want for as long as they want. So when choosing a networking company for yourself, it is so important that the compensation plan gives you multiple opportunities to benefit from your hard work. And it should never be limited to a few people at the top. Okay, so I think this all sounds great. Shaklee is solving real world existential problems on the health front. Shaklee's philosophy is sound. Everybody wins, including nature. And the compensation plan richly rewards hard work. But let's take a look at the fourth question. What about the products? Do they even work? Have they been around for a long time? And do the products have a proven track record? You could be trying to solve great problems. Your philosophy can even be rock solid. But if you don't have a product that makes a transformative difference in the lives of consumers, you don't have anything. So I'd like to think we've saved the very best for last, because at the heart of Shaklee's business model are its products. You know, with a lot of products, the big print giveth and the small print taketh away. Just think of the many pharmaceutical ads that you see on TV. But in Shaklee, it's just the total opposite. The more you look behind the big print, the more you get down into the details, the better it looks. I mean, you start checking it out and you say, really? Are you kidding me? The products actually do that? That's amazing. So the more you learn about Shaklee, the more you love it. Well, from Dr. Shaklee's creation of the world's very first multivitamin back in 1915 to today, Shaklee has over 105 years of groundbreaking innovation. There's not even a close second in the industry. The bottom line is that Shaklee's compensation plan works because Shaklee's products work. Let me say that again. The whole reason Shaklee's compensation plan works is because they've got the very best natural nutrition products in the world. Today, Shaklee continues its century-long pattern of innovation. Shaklee has over 300 products and 4 product lines, including healthy nutrition, healthy weight, healthy beauty, and healthy home. Shaklee has everything you need to live a clean, healthier life. And it's worth noting that all of these products are consumable. And what that means is that when someone tries the products, they feel better, they like the products, they keep on buying them, because after all, a bottle of multivitamins simply won't last forever. Now, this is all Shaklee sells. We don't sell clothes. We don't sell financial products. We don't sell nice smelling oils. We know what we're good at. And we're good at helping people stay healthy on the inside, naturally, healthy on the outside, naturally, and then healthy in their environment, naturally. And we're the best at it in the world. We're number one. And it's worth mentioning that in 64 years, Shaklee has never once had a single product recall, never once been involved in a lawsuit over its products. And in spite of an unconditional, no questions asked, money back guarantee, only 0.3% of all the tens of billions of dollars of Shaklee products that have ever been sold have been returned. Now that's an amazing record. And it's a track record that really matters if you decide to build a Shaklee business, because you can be assured that the rug will never be pulled out from under your business because of a problem with your products. The bottom line is that it's really easy to move Shaklee's products because the products, when consistently used, have the power to be that force multiplier difference that could literally change everything. Now, if you're just looking at Shaklee for the first time, you might be wondering, well, how do I know the products really work? How do I know they're really as good as you say they are? I mean, how can I be sure? Well, there's 3 ways. First, you can listen to our super smart scientists, because we've got some of the best in the world. And you can get into all the intellectual and scientific reasons. You can listen to their presentations. You can examine the studies. So if that's kind of how you're wired, if that's how your brain works, then we invite you to read for yourself the more than 140 clinical studies and peer-reviewed journals on the proven science behind Shaklee's products. You can check it all out and you can get into all that nitty-gritty, and you're going to be impressed. I'll show you in a bit just a little bit of how I can say that in just a few slides. Or second, you can see what they do for other people. I mean, tens of thousands of people have been using this stuff for nearly 65 years. So it's not hard to check around and see if it's actually worked for other people. Or the third way is, number 3, the best way, I think, is to just use the products and see for yourself what they do. Test them out for yourself and see if they work. Prove them to yourself. That's what we've done. We've proved the benefits of using Shaklee for ourselves. Consider this. Shaklee has over 100 patents and patents pending on its products. Shaklee just released 5 more brand new products at their global conference that we just had 2 weeks ago. And one of them is so groundbreaking that it alone has 7 new patents pending. Shaklee has more clinical studies than anybody. It's spent over $300 million on research and development. Let me just tell you, no one else in the industry is even in the same ballpark when it comes to research and development. Besides that, over 140 medals have been won by Olympians who were powered by Shaklee products. Not because they were paid to take them, they weren't, but because they wanted to. Shaklee doesn't pay anybody to use their products. And Shaklee products, this is kind of cool, have been on every NASA mission since 1993. The evidence of the Shaklee difference just goes on and on and on. Now, it's worth acknowledging, just as a disclaimer, just to acknowledge this, that when it comes to the supplement industry, there is good reason for warranted skepticism. The sobering truth is that most supplements on the shelves at your Walgreens or CVS or Walmart, the local groceries, they fail to deliver the right amounts to the right places and the right nutrients. So just as not all networking companies are created equal, neither are their supplements. Shaklee nutritional supplements are qualitatively different. If you want to grant me just another minute, I want to show you how I can make such a claim. Because we've got this wild study done by the University of California at Berkeley of people using our products for over 20 years that proves that Shaklee works. Because these people, who are mostly in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, take little or no medication. They have a much lower risk of dementia. They've got good metabolic health. They've got a better cardiovascular health. And the list just goes on and on and on. I mean, this is UC Berkeley doing this study. It's the largest study ever done of long-term supplement users, and it proved the Shaklee difference. So if you're looking for the scientific data, we've got it in spades. We like to describe the Shaklee difference this way to kind of pull it all together. Shaklee is always safe, it always works, and it's always green. So there you have it. 4 great questions to ask of any networking company. But as great as these 4 questions are, everything really turns on the last one. And that's this: can I see myself doing what is required to succeed? In other words, do you see an opportunity here for yourself? Now, the reality is I can't answer that question for you. Only you can do that. So whether the Shaklee business opportunity looks good to you, or you just want to take charge of your health, I'd suggest the best place to start is to join what we call the Prove It Challenge. Based upon the results of that landmark study that we just talked about, Shaklee put together this package of products and gives everyone a really nice special one-time offer just to try it. It's a month's supply of our Life Shake, 30 days of daily vitalizer strips. We affectionately call it the Strip and Shake. And you get either a free 7-day healthy cleanse or a free bottle of our patented immunity products called Nutriferon. Just take it every day for breakfast and you'll feel great. And Shaklee guarantees that you'll feel amazing after 30 days, or you can get your money back. And while you're at it, let's just not stop with what we choose to put in our bodies. Why don't we go ahead and take care of what we put in our home by switching brands and using nothing but Shaklee's biodegradable, non-toxic, 100% safe for you and your family household cleaners. Shaklee's Premier Cleaner, which is Basic H, was the official product of the very first Earth Day. Shaklee was the first company in America to be certified climate neutral. I saw a commercial for Amazon Prime the other day. They're hoping to be climate neutral by 2040. Well, Shaklee beat them to the race. Shaklee has partnered with Wangari Maathai, who is the very first woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize, in order to plant 1 million trees. In fact, Shaklee has been taking care of the environment since it first introduced Basic H back in 1960. Back when green was just a color and not a movement. So you can trust Shaklee to provide you with the safest, most environmentally friendly household products on the market today. Plus, they're ridiculously inexpensive. Now, remember I showed you this slide earlier. Shaklee, in fact, offers you amazing opportunities. So I don't know if this is for you or not. Maybe you have no need of extra income or no interest in the benefits at all. And if so, that's okay. Honestly, the business opportunity isn't for everyone. But if that's the case, I really encourage you to at least take a look at the Prove It Challenge and give it a shot for your health's sake. And when it comes to cleaning your home, it just makes sense to switch brands and protect your family by using the Get Clean line. It's all guaranteed, so you've got nothing to lose. But maybe, just maybe, you're sitting here and you're taking all this in and you're listening to it and you realize you're just a little bit intrigued. And the thought just keeps going through your head. What if? What if this might actually work? What if you could increase your family's household income by $2,000, $5,000 or more dollars a month? What if you could actually begin earning free trips? What if you could get your car paid for? And what if you just started on a journey today with Shaklee that resulted in you not having to pick between one or the other? You see, with Shaklee, you can have them all. You can have a substantial income and cars and trips and money for your dream home and for giving to other people and so forth. Now, I want to tell you, this isn't just a pie in the sky dream, and it's not just for a few people at the very top. There are thousands of Shaklee sales leaders all over the world who have been receiving these benefits for decades. So let me ask you, if you could experience all of this, would it change your life? Could it change your future? Would it just maybe help you start dreaming again and dream bigger than you ever have before? Might it enable you to actually experience your dreams? Guys, I believe that there isn't a person on planet Earth who would not stand to benefit from Shaklee's products. Shaklee offers financial wealth and physical health for anyone who sees an opportunity for themselves. So why not make the most out of this one precious life that we've been given? Why not do more of the things you enjoy with those you most enjoy? And if any of this holds just a little bit of interest, then I want to invite you to join our team. I am so proud of our team. Dick and Pam McLean are amazing. I want to share this with you. Not only would you be a part of a dynamic team and you enjoy some great support, you receive proven training from literally the global sales leader in Shaklee right now, but you get to work with leaders who are committed to helping you achieve your dreams, because in this business with Shaklee, everybody wins. You can take this to the bank. I love what Dick and Pam have come out with. They've said for Team Go For It, we want to be the fastest growing organization in the USA over the next 12 months. So I just think it's an exciting time to be a part of this. Now, in just a second, you're going to get to hear from Bethany, who's one of our rock stars. We're super proud of her. So Bethany, I hope I've queued you up. But I want to share this quote with you by Dr. Shaklee. He says, "Your future will be exactly what you decide to make it. Nobody else is more responsible for your future than you." So I encourage you to take charge of your future today, make a game-changing decision, and get started today. So at this point, I'm going to stop the screen sharing. And we should all be back together again. Is that right? All right, cool. So Bethany, I'll hand it over to you, and you can share with us a little bit about how Shaklee's made a difference in your life.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Brian, for giving me the opportunity to do this. I am so excited. I just love talking about it and sharing my story, and I don't know, it just gets me really excited. So I became a member of Shaklee back in February. And it was the physical health piece that drew me to Shaklee. And I reached out to my friend Bonnie because of her background in nutrition. And my daughter was having foot pain, chronic foot pain for 3.5 years. And I needed something alternative to medicine because medicine wasn't working and surgery wasn't working. So that was what got me involved in Shaklee originally. After seeing the results, after just a month with her and her experiencing not only just overall better health as far as healthy weight gain, she was underweight, but she started experiencing a decrease in her pain. And when I started seeing the results of the products, I just got more and more excited, and I just kind of blown away. And so decided to become a distributor in July. I made the decision that I'm going to do this. It's either go big or go home. Like, I'm not going to just kind of, I don't know. It was like, I'm an all or nothing person. So I made that decision. I said, I'm going to go for it. I set some specific goals for myself. And one of those specific goals, I have a couple of long-term ones that go out a couple of years, but the very first goal that I wanted to hit was to break out as a director by September. And part of that goal came about because Dick and Pam had put out an extra incentive out there to anyone who was able to meet that by September. So I was like, okay, let's go for it. And when Brian talks about being part of a team, I am constantly surprised by the level of support and community I am finding with this Shaklee family. And I do not use the word family lightly. I think that people throw that word around. I'm not doing that here. Like, I have found community and family here, and people all over the country messaging me on Facebook, congratulating me for achievement, and Brian and Bonnie and Dick and Pam personally investing so much time in me in coaching and encouraging and challenging and just doing so much to help me be successful. And I've never experienced a team effort like that before. And I think at this point, that's probably my favorite part of Shaklee right now, other than the incredible health benefits we've seen, not only for our daughter, but for our family now, as we've moved forward and started using different products for the rest of us. So yes, I did meet that goal in September and broke out as a director, and that was so exciting. Yeah, that physical health need that was felt, those needs are being met, and that impacts my family in huge ways. And this financial health piece is also just growing, and I'm super excited about what's happening there and just the opportunities that are presented to me and what is available. And like Brian said, the sky's the limit. You know, it's really what you want to put into it, and you can do it.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks, Bethany, for sharing. And let me see if I can go back to a quick screen share. If you are interested, what I would say to you is go ahead and just reach out to us. Here's my contact info. Did it work? Nope. There we are. So there's our contact info if you're interested, or just visit with the person who invited you to be a part of this call. And that would be great. So at this time, what I want to do is just open it up. Like I started out our time together by asking you to listen tonight with 3 things in mind. What's one new thing that you learned, a question that went unanswered, or something that surprised you? So you can unmute now and share with us what you learned. Or we can just sit here in awkward silence for the rest of the time.
I'd have to say, I'm going to share what Bethany had said. I don't know, can everybody hear me? Okay, okay, sweet.
Yep.
I love what she said about it being like a family, and it's kind of a group effort, and the support. For me, that is a huge part. I know you wanted to know 3 questions, but I'm finding that that's my favorite part, is getting to know the team and being a part of the group, because everybody wants to be encouraging and helpful. And that's huge, because I've never had that in any of the other places. So there you go.
Cool. Cool. Thanks for sharing.
Love
Holly.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, we're just honored that you took some time out of your busy schedules to hang out with us for a night and just to consider what the Shaklee opportunity might mean for you. And I truly believe that the products literally are for everyone. There's not a person on planet Earth who wouldn't benefit. However, we just acknowledge that the business opportunity may not be for everybody, and that's okay. And we're not here to pressure or to strong arm or twist or whatever, but we do believe that this could be a game changer, and we want to share that with folks. So you honored us by being here tonight. Thanks so much. And with that, I'll go ahead and pause the recording.